Some years ago there was a very popular method of practicing with high lifted fingers, like this. Hanon himself recommended to play his exercises just like that. Nowadays it's considered bad technique, which only leads to tension and technical problems. But is playing with high lifted fingers really that bad? Let's take a closer look. There is a big difference between your fingers being high lifted or just lifted before pressing the key. Very often the beginners don't raise their fingers at all. As a result, some notes overlap because the player can't control when the key is being attacked and when it's being released. In our daily routine, our fingers are not being lifted the same way we do it while playing the piano. So it is an unusual movement, and lifting the fingers up is much more difficult than pressing them down. So we need to help our fingers to get used to this new movement. And this is why we need to lift them high, finger after finger, in a slow tempo. And it's true, it's totally unnecessary to play the fast passages with high lifted fingers because it will only lead to tensions. You will lose time and energy. The distance between the finger and key is too big. In my opinion, practicing a tiny little section with high lifted fingers might be helpful to gain more control about the pressing down and release of the key. In the future, this much space between your finger and the key would be enough. This will allow you to play fast, but still very clear. Without lifting the fingers at all, it would look like this. With lifting, so you see the difference. Make sure you lift the fingers the right way. For example, do not sit too high, because this will make the process of lifting the fingers very difficult. You should lift the finger from this joint, and your finger should stay slightly curved. Be aware of the duration of your note. The moment when you release the key is equally important as pressing it down. Don't forget that because of the anatomy, our fingers can't be lifted the same way. Your fourth finger will be way less independent. Always be aware of your body signals. Stay away from tension or pain. In my opinion, practicing a short passage in a slow tempo with high lifted fingers in order to control the attack and release of the key might be very helpful, but only practicing in a slow tempo and when you have a feeling to have little control about your fingers. We exaggerate this movement to raise the awareness of this new feeling. Once you get this, it's enough to just lift the fingers and not to lift your fingers very high. I hope this information was helpful for you.